Hello, humanity. So, Earth update. If you know what's going on right now, then you're excited. You are ready for the next phase. You're ready to be at the end game. You're ready for the result to show up. You're ready for the truth to unveil. You're ready for all of the things to come to the surface. If you don't know, then this can look like the end of the world. So there are two different worlds basically being played out right now, depending on which side you're on. And I don't mean side by divided, I just mean side by level of perception. And everybody is viewing things from a different level of perception. And this all goes back to, your spirituality and how tapped in you are to your higher self, your inner truth, your inner knowing. And as every single day, millions more people tap into that inner truth and that inner knowing, more and more people get excited about the outcome. So right now, we are in the accountability phase. And as we move through the accountability phase, we are going to watch the collective ego death of millions and millions and millions of people. And by accountability, I mean not just within ourselves, but within the structures that have, we've been living in for eons and eons. The structures in our government, our political system, our financial system, our healthcare system. So as we move through this accountability phase, things that have not always been the best for humanity are going to be held accountable now. And that is a beautiful thing. So humanity has been misled for so long and fed so much untruth that this is going to shock many people as we go through this phase. And of course, as we move through this, we're seeing a lot of action without a lot of details attached to it. So we're watching certain individuals such as CEOs resign. We're watching certain political figures, just suddenly die or resign or whatever, all the things, right? And we're getting bits and pieces of what's actually happening under the surface. So it can be very confusing for, for someone sitting there watching, the news, watching what they're telling you. And this phase is going to bring lots of light into the world, lots more light into the world, so that, again, we can have that ego death of, and when I say ego death, it's basically, admitting that, that you're a spiritual being, that it's not just right or wrong, that you're no longer living in that fear, because our ego is fueled by fear and anger and all the things, and all the people that have been fighting with each other and needing to be right and trying to convince other people of certain things and wake other people up, and will not admit when they're wrong, things like that. That's all the ego, and it's collapsing. It's collapsing because so much light is pouring onto the world, so that the truth is available for everyone to see. So what happens whenever we go through a collective ego death, which we have been going through for the last year, but it's continually rising every day. When we go through this, it immediately dismantles those lower vibrations, those lower timelines that are holding us captive. And it raises the frequency of the planet. So on a collective level, as we move through this, and as we do this, we get to the end result faster. We are able to, again, anchor in those higher timelines, anchor in those higher vibrational frequencies that are going to bring us the end goal, which is unity consciousness for humanity. And we're going there. And that's why we are going through this accountability phase right now. And it can feel so heavy because so much is coming up and so many people are realizing they have been lied to their entire life. Everything has been an illusion. And it's like, when you have a bird that's been in a cage and when you open the cage, they think flying means they're going to die. So it's the same thing. It's just we are taking away the cage right now. And the people that have kept us in that cage are being held accountable. And that goes for ourselves as well. So as we have kept ourselves in a cage, maybe emotionally, physically, all the things throughout all the years, maybe we've been so afraid to go after our dreams, so afraid to think outside the box, so afraid to, step into our full power. We are taking accountability for holding ourselves there and choosing a different route and choosing to say no. Choosing to say, you are here to live a beautiful, a limitless life that you can do anything you want. And, as we do this, more people are going to be tapping into their purpose, their passions, their destiny. And it's going to be a beautiful thing because then as humanity, as a collective, we can all come together and use those gifts to further humanity into the future. So as we do this, and as we go through this accountability phase, and we watch these high-level individuals come down, it's not a sign of the world, falling apart. It is a sign that the light has already won. And shifting the vibration, shifting into unity consciousness, and focusing on the outcome is where we need to be. And allow this phase to play out. Like I said, if you know, you're excited. If you don't know, you're scared. And all those feelings are valid. So whenever we seek out the light and we seek out the truth, the fear goes away. And we tap back into that inner knowing, that inner peace, and that inner trust. And when you have truly awakened, you will see through completely different eyes. And that is why, again, we have two worlds right now. And you have some people that are on the 3D world that are believing in the fear, believing everything they're fed on TV, arguing with everyone, yelling at everyone, trying to convince everyone of everything, putting everyone down who's not obeying. And then you have the people of, 5D, the 5D earth, who are excited, who are free, who are rooted in their sovereignty, rooted in their freedom, and they're not able to be held down. And then, of course, you have people in the middle who feel the fifth dimensional world, who still have roots in the three-dimensional world, and they're not quite sure. They're kind of afraid to go to the other side because they've never been there. It's completely different. So we have people in the middle who are on the fence. Maybe they have family members who are rooted in the 3D world trying to tell them one thing, and they have their higher self telling them the other thing. So wherever you are, it's okay. Know what's available to you. And then you can make the choice. And again, this is all a journey. This is all a journey of, dismantling those old belief systems, those old, things that we were taught from such a young age, dismantling all of that and choosing new ones that align with yourself, with truth, with love. And that is what is on the fifth dimensional world. So there literally is two worlds playing out right now. And the majority of people are jumping to the fifth dimensional world because they are saying no. More and more people every day as we go through this accountability phase are saying no. And again, they're shifting, they're moving. So the momentum is growing and growing and growing and growing. Nothing can stop this. Nothing can stop what humanity is destined for. as much as the dark may want to try to look like they have control, and they want to continuously perpetrate, I can't say that word, feed everyone that fear and keep it going and keep it alive. And let's do this now. And let's, give all this confusing information so that no one knows what they're doing, right? That's crumbling because it's coming to the point now where it's so obvious. It's so obvious of what their plans were. It's obvious to the people who have never researched beyond what they were told. It's becoming obvious to those people now. So that is the point of this accountability phase. And as we shift through it, again, we're going to come out on the other side with completely different beliefs, completely different information, and completely different views on life in general. And, as humans, we're not, when we are filled with so much trauma, it can feel very scary whenever you're stepping into a world, a fifth dimensional world that is focused on truth and love and light. Because it's very much, there's a lot of unawareness there for people, which is filled with uncertainty and fear instead of excitement and happiness, because you're not used to it. You're used to your trauma. You're used to identifying with your trauma. And when we identify with our trauma, we become a victim. And that 3D world fuels people to stay in victim mode. And if you want to change, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to let go of the victim mode? So as more and more people do this daily, they are realizing that the unawareness of, the new world of love and light is a better option than staying rooted in the 3D world where things are getting worse and it's not serving them anymore. So, this is when things flip, when the people that were accusing people of certain things, it's a karmatic cycle. Everything's coming back to those people. All the people out there that are fighting with everyone, calling everyone a conspiracy theorist, it's all coming back to them. It's all coming back to them for review. Because the truth is coming out. And the people that have actually created that term are being held accountable for it because, again, it's a boomerang. So if you know, you can sit back and take some time to breathe and know that this is happening for the highest good of all, and a beautiful world is going to come out of this. And you can choose to align with that if you want. So I invite you to take some time today to just take some deep breaths. Figure out what world you're on, what world you want to be on. And then start anchoring in your roots for that. Start seeking out the light if you want to be on the fifth dimensional world. Seeking out the truth. Make your decision. And claim it. And watch the old collapse. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will talk to you tomorrow.